Hello my people, welcome to my channel. My name is Yadel aka Dana Pai. Today I'm going to talk about important topic, that is families in Australia. Pacific South Sudanese families in Australia. My title of the video today is why are South Sudanese families breaking down in Australia? Okay, as we all know, many women have left Australia. They have children, they go back home, get married to other men, bring them here. And also, men have done the same thing, leaving women with children, going back home, getting married, and they don't even care about supporting these children and the wife. So today the first thing I'm going to talk about. Okay, as I was saying, the first thing I'm going to talk about today is that many of our men are lazy. This makes them useless, and no woman wants to be with a useless man. We are very proud people. Women are. And when I said women are proud people, you like someone that you want to be with for the rest of your life, to be a very hardworking person, to be a leader, especially a man that is going to be in your life. So if a man is lazy, he's the one who sleeps all day. He's the one who doesn't want to get a job. He's the one who cannot actually do anything that make him a man, especially when it comes to providing. Then what has he become? He become useless. And that is one of the issues that is causing families to break down. No woman wants to be with a lazy man, a man that is useless, a man that does not provide. Number two is lack of co-parenting. Many relationships in Australia is one side. A man and a woman in Australia are supposed to work together in raising their children. And here is a woman who have 4, 5, 6 children with a man. And all these men do is dress up. I will be talking about Melbourne because I live in Melbourne and we have so many places where men go to. Some men goes to Footscray to play dominoes. Some men goes to Noble Park to play dominoes. Some men are just like, they just don't want to be around to help with the children, which is a big thing. Okay, number 3 is that women have better understanding of the modern knowledge and the modern education. Our men are like, most of them just go to school, they get their degrees, put them on the wall without using it. But women have actually understood that when you go to school, you have to make use of that paper that you get from studying. So this is one of other issues that is causing families to break down, because when a woman understands better than a man, and this man has refused to learn, when you tell them, oh look, it's okay that you have your degree, it's okay you have that, but you can also do something else so you can provide for the family, and they don't want to listen. What is the choice of that woman? She be like, okay, anyway, I know what I'm doing, I will do my things. And then eventually there's no more relationship between those two people. Another thing is culture of violence. Violence is big issue in our society, especially as South Sudanese and as Dinka people. Most of the time, we talk with stick. When someone is not listening to you, what do? You hit them. When someone is not giving you that attention, what do? You hit back with word. When someone is like, why are you doing this, when you're being questioned, you hit back with violence. And this violence is causing a lot of issues. No woman want to be abused anymore. How would you feel if you were the one being hit actually? No one want to be hurt. And that's why many women have chosen, they don't want to be living in this culture of violence. Because when you live in that culture of violence, your children are watching and they're thinking, oh, this is the way of life. And then they will also become violent. And that's why many of our children are ending up in jail. Because they watch their parent fight. They watch their parent hate each other. They watch their parent being verbally abusive to each other. And they think, oh, because my mom and my dad are doing it, I can also do it. And that become an issue. And that is not allowed in Australia. So what are women doing? Women are like, okay, me, I don't want to be in a violent relationship. The same men as well. Some men were brought up by people who are so soft, families that are not violent. And so they will be like, okay, I don't want to be in a violent relationship. I don't want to be violent to anyone, so I don't want anyone to be violent to me. So what they do is, I will remove myself from this situation. So you can have peace of mind, and so that you can also see, I am not ready for this kind of relationship. That is number 4. Number 5, women are choosing their children over the man. Okay, back in the days, a woman can trade a child for a man. But now women have realized many men are not as, man is not as important as your own child. A child you've carried for 9 months in your womb is more important than a man. So when a man become violent, when a man become abusive toward children, when a man is not being a good father, what does a woman say? She sees that these children, if they are not protected, they're going to leave the home and they're going to end up in the street. So what does a woman do? She goes like, okay, since you are not being the father that I expected, you have to get out of the house. And if you are not getting out of the house, they will also go and involve the police. And that's when the police will come and take the man out of the house. That is number 5. Women have chosen their children over the man because these men are no good, and your child will always be your child. So what do? You choose your child over a man. Okay, number 6 is lack of communication. Many of us were brought up where there's no communication. You don't ask someone, why did you do this? All they used to do is when you make a mistake, they call you. They come with a stick or whatever thing they will use to punish you. You are just punished. And then after you've been punished, that's when you're being asked, why do you think I punish you? How are you going to know why you are being punished when no one has told you what you've done wrong? This is another issue. We need to learn how to communicate. Lack of communication breaks a lot of relationships, even in the mainstream Australia. So communication is important in relationship, whether being a man, woman, child, and a parent. And this is why many children are leaving homes. As I was saying, this is why many children are leaving home. If a child is being abused, if the parents are not listening because they don't know how to communicate, then what is the option for the children? They have to leave. They have to find a safe place where they can talk to people, where they can express themselves. Because we in South Sudan, let me say Dinka, a child cannot look at adults straight in the eye because they will be like, this is disrespect. But here when we come to Australia, it is normal. And if you are looking down while talking to someone, they will think you are hiding something. So these children are getting confused. There's no proper communication at home. and the school is telling them something different. So proper communication is a big issue. We lack communication among our families. Another thing is the family background. Family background is a big issue because I come from big family of so and so, and you come from this small family of so and so, you don't amount to me. And then you start treating someone with disrespect. Okay, that disrespect is not normal. Everyone deserves to be respected. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how much you own. It doesn't matter how less you own. We have to be respected, and everyone deserves respect. So if my family is from low background, poor background, and your family is from rich background, it doesn't mean that you're going to stand against me and then you talk to me as if I'm not a human. I am a human. So family background is contributing to a lot of relationship breaking down, because when we come here, we don't really look at family background. You know, he's a South Sudanese, he's Dinkan, he's whatever. As long as he's South Sudanese and you are South Sudanese, you feel okay to be with your own brother. But you know what? This brother will go and look at your background. This sister will go and look at your background. And then they start talking to you as if they picked you from the street when you were actually living in a place before you guys met. So family background is big issue because we are holding into the old knowns of my grandfather was a rich man, my grandmother was a rich man. Do you even know where I come from? Okay, I don't know where you come from. You don't know where I come from, but still we are in relationship, so we have to have respect. That is number that is number 7. Okay, number 8. Another thing that is causing family breakdown is community leadership. Community leadership is a big thing in Australia, especially for those who are trying to do good for the community. Okay, when everyone wants to be a leader, you believe you're going to do good for the community. But most of the time, that's not the result. You get into that leadership, everything is completely different. You're looking at that community inside now, not outside, because when you are not a leader, you see all that is bad. You see everything that is not being done properly. But once you get in, you realize you have to make a decision for everyone else in the community. And what happened is that this community is not a community that support people who want to work for it. This community is a community that break people who try to work for it down. They will get into your relationship. They will get into your family background. They will even say things that do not exist in your family. And they will say things that do not exist about your husband. They will say things that do not exist about your wife. They will say things that do not exist about this partner you are in relationship with, these things about this woman that you have children with, things about this man you have children with, just because they want to break that relationship down. So that is another issue. Community leadership is breaking down so many families. We've seen a lot of people going live on other people just because they have involved in the community leadership. If you ask someone, what have that person done to you before? They have no issue. They had never had even a single argument outside. They don't even know each other before. They met in the community, and that community has made it that it's their business that they go saying things that are not true about these people. So that is another issue. Community leadership. Okay, another issue is the family background. Families back home, Families back home are playing a major role in breaking down relationships. Back in the days, according to our culture and what we been told by people who are older than us, is that when a husband and wife have issue, the family come together and they talk about it. They solve the issue. But now, because there's financial benefit on both sides, families back home are not being straightforward, and they are the only elders that we are left with. Here in Australia, we don't have elders. We only have community. And if someone in the community come and say they want to help you with your relationship issue, oh my God, you're going to take them live and say things that are not true about them, because we all want to be favored. No one wants to be told you were wrong so and so. So what is community in Australia doing? They're hiding because they don't want to be part of this abuse, you know. They don't want to be called names when they don't deserve it. They like, okay, do your things. It's your house, it's your family, do your things. So what do people who have relationship here do? We take a phone, we call people back home, we tell them about the issues that are going on. And you know what, most of the time, they play a balance. They don't want to say, oh, you are wrong, Dana. They don't want to say to the other person, oh, you are wrong. Why did you say this to your sister? Why did you say this to your brother? Why did you do this to your wife? Why did you do this to your husband? This is how you should be living. They don't do that anymore, because if they do that, someone is going to get upset with them and they will not help them financially anymore. So these families back home are helping families break down here, because if I am no longer living with that brother of yours, he's gonna go live in a shared place, and that small money that he was supposed to help me support his children is gonna go to you guys back home. So you people need to be not to take any part anymore. You guys need to learn to say, you are wrong, you are right. Because even at the end of the day, the truth is always the truth. And you will always be guilty that you didn't tell the truth. That is another issue. Families back home are playing major role in keeping families' relationship or breaking it down. Another families that are also breaking down these families are the people who are here as well. We have something that I don't know where it's originated from. We believe when so and so is successful, it's he or she is stopping me from being successful as well, which is completely wrong. My success doesn't stop you from being successful. Your success doesn't stop me from being successful. My brain stopped me from being successful. Your brain stopped you from being successful. So what is happening? Why are we jealous? When you see your sister, your brother doing well, why are you fighting them? Why are you creating issue in their families? Why can't you just be nice and be happy and celebrate with them, instead of you coming in between telling, oh, my brother said, oh, my sister said, oh, you did this, why did you do that? And my brother has not married a proper woman. Oh, this man is not the right man for my sister. Okay, they could be true. But why don't you people try to be supportive? So families back home and here are breaking families in Australia. Because what they do, they take side. They're full of jealousy. You don't want to see your brother successful. You think he's stopping you from being successful. You put your jealousy in. And that is helping break families. So we need to stop that. Another thing is endless education or endless studies. When we come to Australia, we know there's opportunities to get educated. There are too many opportunities. If you want to be anything, you just have to study. That's it. But many of our men have decided to go to school and study endlessly. Their degrees never end. Their masters never end. Their PhDs never end. And once they finish those endless studies, they bring the document home, they put them on the wall, and they will be running their mouth. I am so educated. I have more knowledge than anyone else. I have how many degrees? I have these degrees. And even the English they speak is barely falling down. It's barely holding up. Because when they went to school, they didn't go to school to get knowledge. They just went to get the papers. They just want to show the community that they are educated, and they haven't changed anything. And this kind of education is not productive. It's never brought bread onto the table for the family. So what happens when a man goes to school endlessly and leave the children to suffer with the woman? This lead to poverty, and not so many people want to be in poverty, because how it lead to poverty is that if one person is working in the house and you are officially in relationship with that person, that small income is divided between you two and the children that you have. And this person is not contributing to the economy of the house. What happened? The house, the family is in poverty. So what do you do as a woman? You leave the relationship. As I was saying, you leave the relationship and you move on, because what you want is to have a future with your children. You don't want your children to suffer the way you had been suffering. You don't want your children to be renting forever. So when you leave the relationship, the income that is from one person is counted to one person. And then you can easily get a mortgage. You can easily start a business. So that's why relationships are breaking down in Australia. With all that, I say thank you for watching my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. With the videos, like if you like them, and share with your family and friends. Also, don't forget to comment and contribute your part. We want to talk about this. We need to have proper families. We need to start growing as a country. And to grow, we need to get educated. With all that, thank you once again. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.